First, Frederick Skinner was born in 1904 in Pennsylvania and died in 1990, where he was on the psychology department at the University of Indiana. Skinner was an inventor. He created the air crib, or what is more commonly known as the Skinner box. It was a crib made to help ease the burdens of parents. It was temperature and humidity controlled. It allowed babies to stay warm and not have to wake up their parents through the night. B.F Skinner became the leader of the behaviorism theory in operant conditioning. Skinner was inspired by the words of John B. Watson and Ivan Pavlov. He proved that their theory, that behavior depended on the preceding stimulus, was false. It actually depends on what happens after the response. Skinner believed that a person's surroundings affect how they act. His theory of behaviorism states that cultural conditioning molds and shapes behavior and the personality. He also created operant conditioning, which is a tool used to modify behavior. There are 4 types of operant behavior: positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, punishment, and extinction. Positive reinforcement is a behavior that is strengthened by the outcome of experiencing a positive condition. An example would be a student raises their hand and is praised for doing so. The child is more likely to raise their hand because of the positive response. Negative reinforcement is when a behavior is strengthened by the consequence of avoiding a negative situation. For example, if a person is hungry, eating will stop the hunger. Feeling hungry is an undesirable consequence, and eating is a negative reinforcement. Punishment is, for example, when a child pulls dog's tails and the dog bites it. The child is unlikely to ever pull a dog's tail again. The bite is the punishment. Extinction, I also think, is easier to understand through an example. A child will stop throwing tantrums if they are no longer reinforced by paying attention to them. The tantrums stop because the behavior fails to produce the desired effect. Positive and negative reinforcement strengthen behaviors, while punishment and extinction weakens it. Operant behavior is still used in classrooms today. It's a learning model for teachers. There are 3 techniques used to aid learning. Prompting is what teachers do to help students progress, like sounding out letters or words to new young readers. Chaining is when one response leads to another response. A basic example would be when saying the letters of the alphabet. A acts as a discriminative stimulus to produce the next letter, B, and so on. Shaping reinforces forms of behavior to achieve the desired behavior, like when teaching animals new tricks, to train them and shape them into something new. A quote from B.F. Skinner: "I do not admire myself as a person. My successes do not override my shortcomings." I found it fascinating that Skinner did not think of himself as higher than others, and that he knew he was going to have trials in his career, and also that he recognizes his failures as things that helped him to grow. His successes would mean nothing without his failures. In 2002, Skinner was named the most influential psychologist of the 20th century, and during his life he published 21 books and 180 articles.